Yes, it has changed a lot. First, the economy of the Philippines has been booming. For the past, I think, 4 to 5 years, Philippines has become the fastest growing economy in Asia, if not Asia Pacific. And because of that, there's have been a lot of liquidity, and malls have been sprouting here from left to right. So a big mall before, which you cornered a big chunk of the market, is now being filtered out by the smaller malls. Yes, and it has been good for the consumer because traffic here has been very bad. The sales of cars here and automobiles is now the biggest in the past 3 years, with an average of about 28,000 new cars being bought every month. So you can just imagine the traffic, and then what do you call this? The roads are not getting any bigger. So hopefully we can address this in the next 5 years by building more trains, subways, and more and better roads. Okay. A lot. It has made the consumers more engaged. It has made it very convenient for them. That's why online deliveries, again, traffic related, online deliveries have been very convenient. And people, I think the young group nowadays, I think they sleep less. They stay late and they eat, they drink beverages and eat pizza or food even at late hours in the morning or late in the evening. So you see that more and more stores are now engaged more than the normal time. Okay, so I think it has increased the sales of most, but it has been very competitive and has been quite expensive because you need more people to stay in your office in longer hours. Yes, a lot of stores now, especially the good fast food ones, have opened 24 hours. And as you know, that the Philippines is now competing directly with India in terms of the BPOs. We're now, sometimes we're number one, sometimes we're in the second to India, but it has been an on and off battle on the number one spot with India for the past 3 to 4 years. And because of that, the time change, the time people work, it has basically transformed Manila and the Philippines into a 24-hour working time because of the time difference with other countries. Yes, I think yes, we have to be concerned because it's going to be the trend. It's going to be full blown maybe in 5 years, and that's how we saw it also in the U.S. Philippines has been very critical of what's happening in the U.S. We follow what the U.S. is doing, and maybe the world is also. So we can see how the Philippines will be going in the next few years. More and more brands, brick-and-mortar stores in the US have been closing down. It has become very expensive because doing online direct delivery has cut down a lot of expenses. So if my concept now is more of a brick-and-mortar type, I have to be very concerned because do I expand? Do I put my resources more in the brick and mortar? And I mentioned a while ago that there are more and more malls, mini malls, townships, just growing everywhere. Do you situate yourself in these big malls or in the small malls? And if you want to be there all the time, that's going to entail a lot of capital. And sometimes in a certain area, what happens is if the population is, let's say, 200,000, you just break it down into 3 malls instead of 1 mall before. So expenses are higher, sales are sometimes not even bigger. So it's a concern. So then how much of your resources now, if you cut down on the brick and mortar, how much of that funds will you be channeling on direct selling or through online business? So that's still a question. Since last year, we have cut down on opening new stores. We are now partnering with existing stores and putting freezers and just putting the juice there. So we have cut down a lot on the brick and mortar, but the availability of the product has become more broader. Simply because we talk, let's say, to a big brand who has, let's say, 300 outlets, and we negotiate with them special price. And we tell them this is the latest juice technology, this is the latest, this is more nutritious than the traditional juice. So would you like to carry it? And if they have, let's say, 500, 600 customers per day, we share in that market with little cost.
Okay, that's very innovative.
Yes, so that's what we did as far as my company is concerned, and I think it's working. Over the past 2 years, we have about 160 outlets, and the 160 outlets are doing very well. So we hope that we could build maybe 100, 200 stores every year, just partnering with existing brands and existing brick-and-mortar type of stores. As far as Filipinos are concerned, Filipinos still want to touch and feel. Okay. I have seen this because a lot of my customers online would pay me online, but only 30% of them would require me to deliver it into their homes. They still want to pick it up. They still want to see in my shelf or in my freezer and choose, what's the freshest. They want to talk to, let's say, my salespeople or to the salespeople of that brand and ask more about the product. I think it's more of trying to secure what we educate them on the internet or on the website, or what we tell them, and getting a first-hand feel of what the product is and asking that person if we're saying the same thing. It's just a validation of what we're putting on the website and what is being said by the salesperson. So it's just a confirmation, a reconfirmation, because this is a new product, this is a new item. They just want a reconfirmation that, okay, are they both speaking in the same term, to validate what this person said with what the salesperson is saying. So I think that has been the trend because it's a new product. But we feel that in a year or so, when people know about that product well and they have their assurance that it's fresh, no preservation, no chemicals, no nothing, then people will just keep on buying it automatically. Not so. I mean, in my own opinion, I think real estate is going to be very expensive in the future. We still need them for brand marketing, for educating people, for impulse buyers. But we're going to grow not on that line of expansion. I think we're going to grow more on the online business and the partnership with different brands, because I can pass on better prices, more, yes, because if I have my own store, I have to put up everything, my own staff, and again, the rental, the percentages of these malls. But if we put them inside an existing one, it's just an added income for an existing expense. See, so that's how we look at it. And when we explain this to different brands, it becomes a win-win situation. So the way we feel that we're going to grow as far as Pure Nectar brand is concerned is really partnering, co-branding, and the distribution network will be the future of this company. Oh yeah, usually people who get invited into these conferences are usually the best of the best of the best in their fields. So even if it's not my field, it's not in the food and beverage, I can still learn something from their experiences and how they were able to overcome challenges. I think that's very important for me, because challenges just come in. Sometimes you don't expect them. And it's good to know these people that you can go to them and ask them just in case the same problem is in front of you. Okay? So sometimes the assurance of, okay, if I'll have a problem with this sort of thing, I know I can call this person and maybe he can give me his opinion. And that is very important for us in this field. That's why openness and just being humble to say that you have to keep on learning even if you're the best is something that we should do. Every company should do.